Hey class, I want to go ahead and talk about some of these radicals to simplify these out for you guys. I know some of us have been in trouble with it, so I wanted to kind of do some of them. When you're having these here, you notice number one here, they're all radicals, but they're different radicands. This is square root of 2, this is square root of 7, square root of 2, square root of 7. In essence, what you want to do is like combining like terms, and the same radicals go together. So 5 radical 2 goes together with this guy right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 5 minus this 2. It's going to be 3. And the radical 2 is just already simplified. You're just going to leave it. Same thing here, 3 radical 7 plus 4 radical 7. Well, that's going to give you 7 radical 7. Now, if you notice, the radical 2 is different from a radical 7. They're irrational values, so that's all we can do. That's how we simplify it. Same thing with number 2. The cube roots also go with the cube roots. So here you have a 4 on the outside minus 7. So 4 minus 7 obviously is negative 3. But you have to make sure you say it's a cube root of 2. And then we go ahead and with the square roots, square root of 2. 5 radical 2 plus 1 radical 2 is 6 radical 2. And that would be your simplified version of this guy. Now, when we get over here to radical 20 plus radical 25, what you have to do is you have to break down the radical. Now, what are the factors of 20 that I can use that are square roots, that are perfect squares? And if you think about it, you can use 4 and 5. The square root of 4 times the square root of 5. And what essentially ends up happening, guys, is the square root of 4 is the same thing as writing 2 to the second power. Now, why is that important? Because, see, the square root cancels with the square, and you're just left with the 2. 2 radical 5. And that's what you want to do. You want to simplify that out. Well, what about radical 45? Same thing. Over here you have square root of 9 times the square root of 5. Well, the square root of 9, we can rewrite it as 3 to the second power and times the square root of 5. The square roots and the square cancel out. You're left with 3 radical 5. Now you notice they both have the same radical, so I can combine those two. 2 plus 3 is going to give me 5 radical 5. Okay, going on to the last one, same thing. Now the square root of 12, I want to go ahead and simplify that out. Well, that's going to give me 3. The square root of, well, 12, I can break it down into 4 times 3. So square root of 4 times the square root of 3. All right, what is the square root of 4? It's 2. Because it's right next to the radical, it's next to it, you're going to multiply. So 3 times 2. And this gives me 6 radical 3. 32. What can we break down 32 into? Think perfect square, 16 times 2. So square root of 16 times square root of 2, that becomes 4 square root of 2. So we bring that guy down, 4 radical 2. 27, what can we break that one down into? 9 times 3. Think perfect squares. Square root of 9 times the square root of 3. Square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So now we have 3 radical 3. Lastly, we have 2 radical 8. Well, square root of 8, what do? We can break it down into 4 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Because it's right next to the 2, we're going to multiply. So 2 times 2 is going to give me 4 radical 2, or 4 square root of 2. Again, goes back to something like number 1. We're going to combine them. Radical 3 with the radical 3. 6 plus 3 is going to give me 9. Negative 4 plus 4, that's 0. That cancels out. What am I left with? 9 radical 3. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you out. I'll see you guys next time.